Welcome to the Los Alamitos Weekend Preview Show here at Los Alamitos. We're joined by Christopher Wade. It is time for the Winter Division. Both the Derby and the Winter Championship this weekend has arrived, Chris. Got trials on Saturday for the Derby and then trials on Sunday for the Championship.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend of racing this weekend. We got some really nice looking runners on both nights. And I'm going to give a look to a horse I've used before as my prize play. I'm looking for a repeat performance tonight in tonight's fifth event, looking at the outside horse, Pentos.
Yeah, let's take a look at those past performances here. The night lines, which you can buy digitally at losalamitos.com. We're going to the fifth race, which is the first trial of the evening on Saturday night. Scoops Dynasty's 2-1. Doc's Fast Lane is 5-2. Those two should take money, but we're both in agreement that Pentos has more potential.
Yeah, this horse has always shown a good amount of ability. This horse is a B- and a B+ worker prior to his debut there for Jaime Gomez. And every single one of his races, this runner has found a good amount of trouble at every one of his starts. Even like the night when he broke his maiden in the futurity trial for the Golden State Million Futurity, he had trouble by about 3/4 of a length that night. So he's been a horse to watch in every subsequent start, which is, a horse with trouble that I figure is going to run better. And drawing that outside post up against a horse that he figures to clear with a decent getaway, he should have a clear path to run and be the big body runner that he is. I think he's got a big look here. Should be right there early and late at a nice price.
Take a look at his latest race, which he was tackling Stakes Company, and he was the inside post in this scratch down field of 4. So he was actually the number 2 horse. What did you see this night?
Well, he got a little fractures. That's pretty usual. He broke slow and kind of head high and inward away from the gate, losing about a length and 3/4 and kind of slow into stride. Then he drifted in away from the gate. So he's a nice sized runner, and he lugs in midway, and he's under a hold the final half of the affair. It looked like it was crossed right here, intimidated a little bit, and the rider takes a hold of him late, and right there, striding out pretty well, and he galloped out very nicely to the turn. This horse had a lot of talent. It says that he's his own worst enemy. If he just gets away clean, which I expect him to do from that outside post side, he's going to run that ability and have a big look at a nice price in tonight's fifth event.
Yeah, he should be a runner that, he's already tried this distance twice. And he already owns a win, and you can see in his stride he has. If you will go back and watch his maiden win and also his retreated draw win, he's got such long stride. I don't think he was comfortable on the route. I think he's going to enjoy being on the outside.
Yeah, that's one of the big reasons I like him from the outside post. He's going to break and be a clear path, and he's going to run that ability, I think, this night. Even though there's a couple nice runners lead inside, I think he's got a big look there, a nice little price there in the fifth event, first trial for that Derby, Winter Derby here this evening.
All right, thanks for that analysis and that replay. You've been giving us some nice selections in the last couple of weeks. Let's hope Pentos breaks well from that outside post.
All right, boss. You have a good night, and great racing here at Los Alamitos.
We'll see you out there at Los Al this weekend.
The traditional $2 pick six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And our pools continue to increase on Saturday, January 8th. A one-night carryover of $34,000 led to a huge total pool of over $184,000. And our $10,000 pick six promo on eligible Sunday nights consistently resulted in total pools of over $60,000. And the payouts can be tremendous. And remember, on Sunday nights when there's not a carryover, Los Alamitos is continuing to add $10,000 to the pick six pool. The traditional $2 pick six. A great bet, a great deal. Always at Los Alamitos.
Welcome back to the program. Now joined by Michael Rona, the voice of Los Alamitos. Michael, we've had a couple of bouts of seconditis. Both your selection and my selection in the last few weeks have been running the exacta, but let's see if we can turn around the tables tonight, and you're taking us to race number 6.
Yes, the second of 4 terrific trials to the Winter Derby on a great weekend of racing at Los Alamitos. When you get to these types of trials, Jose, there's no easy races. Obviously, you're coming up against stiff opposition, very talented horses. They're deep fields. But I did think that there was reasonable value at 4-1 on the morning line in this 6th race with Apollitical Candy V, number 7.
Yeah, there's the second division, so race number 6 on Saturday night. There's a couple of nice runners by the likes of Jess Being A Friend, who just was the runner-up in the 2 million. Eye on the Sky, who was sensational, probably one of the most sensational debut wins back in 2021. He's been knocking against some good ones. Fortunate Corona, just 2 starts ago, was the favorite against the eventual winner Bomb Cyclone of the 2 million. He's a runner that on his best day, he can fire a big effort. But you liked the way Apollitical Candidate looked in that win back on January 9th.
I did. I actually made a note of him from a couple or three starts before that. He impressed me in one of his futurity trials. He had back-to-back 400-yard races late in the year. But this allowance win last start is when the horse really put it all together. Now, I will grant you that it opened up beautifully for him at the start of the race. He got a clean break with plenty of room to move, and he didn't have any trouble to overcome. Still, look at his stride, look at the time for this 330-yard race. The final eighth of a mile, Jose, 9.48. That's him in gate 3, and he was smoking down the lane.
Yeah, no doubt that everything went right for him, but just the way he leveled out, and look at it, Oscar Penal was not really set down for a drive at all in the last 100 yards or so. So he did it very comfortably, and you noted that's a very nice final come home time in 9.48.
Yeah, that 9.48 is sensational. Now, the start before, he was a fast closing second to Empty Promise in the Evening Snow, which is a replay you just used in the previous segment with Chris Wade. Pentos finished off the board from gate 1 in that particular event. I thought that Apollitical Candy V's second to Empty Promise, racing to the inside of that horse, was very good. That race was 350 yards. He was gaining late. I think he can beat Empty Promise tonight. Empty Promise has to come from the inside post position on this occasion. Apollitical Candy V has not been outside gate 3 for a long, long time, and hopefully he'll appreciate being out wider here in gate 7 for this assignment. I alluded to a couple of 400-yard races in futurity trials in the fall. One in October, the Golden State Million Futurity. He had no luck at all. I think his 4th place finish in that run was very good. He was 3rd in the 2 Million Futurity trial. He didn't get into the field, but I think he's good enough to win one of these trials and get into a big dance. I think he's heading in the right direction for Jaime Gomez and Oscar Peinado. I think the horse is razor sharp at the moment. 400 yards won't be a problem. So at 4-1 from gate 7, I'm willing to give him a try, while admittedly shaking in my boots at the prospect of having to beat Eye on the Sky, because that horse is absolutely breathtaking. He can really power through the wire, and even though he hasn't raced for a little while, I took a look at his gate work recently. It was very sharp in a solo drill, and if things go his way, he'll probably win. But at twice the price, let's try a red hot horse who's heading in the right direction for a good trainer who normally shows up big on the nights of these types of trials. Jaime Gomez with number 7, Apollitical Candy V.
And just to kind of note also that you noticed we had notes on Apollitical Candy V in those races. I want to bring back the past performances, because in that third race back before the Evening Snow, he only missed second by about a neck to Stuck in Probate, who came back to win impressively. We'll see Stuck in Probate in action. So he only was about a neck behind, between that third place actually looking like a second on paper. And before that, the 4th place finish, he only missed third by a short nose. So that 4th place finish could have looked like a third, better on paper, with just a little bit more racing luck. So those 2 starts in back-to-back trials might appear better than what they look on paper. So Apollitical Candy V really put it all together last time out with the sharp win.
Yes, he's on the cusp of going to the next level again, and I think he can really show up here and make the final to the Winter Derby.
I think you picked one of the most contentious trials, I think, all night. I think this is one of the most competitive trials, because you have proven form, you have kind of horses on the improve, and you have a 2 million runner-up in Jess Being A Friend. So I think this is a very, very interesting trial.
Yep, there are no gimmies. There's great depth to these races, and best of luck to all the contestants as they strive to make the final to one of the big early season races at Los Alamitos.
Thanks for that, replaying that analysis, Michael. We'll see you out at Los Al this weekend.
Okay, good luck. Hooroo.
It's quarter horse girl power on the racetrack at Los Alamitos with the nation's best stakes schedule ever for fillies and mares. Our 2022 schedule will include 3 races in the quarter horse distaff division with a purse of $100,000 or more. And it all starts with the Grade 1 Charger Bar Handicap on Sunday, January 2nd. Sophomore fillies have the $500,000 Los Alamitos Oaks on March 26th. Plus, more than a dozen other top stakes races for fillies and mares. It's all about quarter horse girl power at Los Alamitos.
All right, it is time to wrap up January, Professor G. Orlando, thank you for joining us on the program. It's time for the Winter Series. We got Winter Derby trials on Saturday, Winter Championship trials on Sunday.
Absolutely, Jose. So my outstanding Grade 1 action taking place here at Los Alamitos, the Winter Derby. We have 4 trials, each at 400 yards, a total of 34 sophomores going in these trials. And Jose, from those 34 horses, one of them made a late payment, $10,000 to get into these trials. I'll tell you as the show goes on which one of these horses made that $10,000 payment, that late supplement money to get eligible for these trials.
All right, I'm going to try to guess the race, and then you'll let me know. But I'm going to say it's not in the 5th, right?
No, it's not in the 5th.
No, all right,
You're right about that.
All right, so I think I have my guess. I'll let you know which race I think it is. So, 4 Derby trials, races 5, 6, 7, and 8 on Saturday. Top 10 fastest times advanced to that final. Contentious. I thought it was a very good quality 3-year-old showing up for these trials. And we talked to Christopher Wade. We talked to Mike Corona. I think Mike Corona picked the most contentious trial, the most competitive trial, at least on paper. We'll talk about their race in a moment. But why don't we take a look at the past performances, the night lines there for these trials on Saturday night, and we'll preview a few of these races. You can get the digital edition of the night lines of official past performances at losalamitos.com. And race number 5, the start of the late pick 4, the first trial, Orlando. Scoops Dynasty and Doc's Fast Lane side by side, favorites there in inside posts.
Yeah, and I thought the way that the trials drew were really interesting, made for some fun races to handicap this group of horses. Very well matched. Jaime Gomez has a total of 6 horses going in the trials. 2 of them get into this race, Doc's Fast Lane and Pentos. Both of them have shown a really nice ability. Pentos won a trial to $1 million pituity last year, and the way this horse finishes, he really could show some good late run, and we'll see how he does. He's had a couple of not so stellar performances, when he hasn't broken really well, but he does have that late kick, which makes him really interesting factor. Plus at 6-1, a really interesting play as well in this opening trial.
Interesting enough, Jaime Gomez, the Quarter Company LLC with Pentos, but Jaime Gomez has the 2 horse Orlando, Doc's Fast Lane. Oscar Pinato lands on the 2.
And that's my top selection for this race, Jose. I'm gonna go with the 5-2 choice here, Doc's Fast Lane. The horse that beat him in the trials to the Los Alamitos 2 million, Rocket 17, ended up making the final to the Los Alamitos 2 million and ran well in the final as well. But we've also seen Doc's Fast Lane qualify to the Kindergarten Futurity. And also he went head-to-head with Ron Bayer Cartel in the trials to the Edward Million Futurity and made that final. So all in all, a nice body of work from Doc's Fast Lane as a freshman last year. And I think just his level of consistency, his ability to have shown the ability to break nicely, I think makes him kind of a solid contender in this one.
Let's catch up with Jaime Gomez talking about his contenders for these trials.
And in the first one, Doc's Fast Lane is in that group, as well as Pentos, 2 pretty good horses. Let's talk about these 2 really nice runners.
Well, these horses are really natural runners. They pretty good. He been behaved really good. That's Fast Lane. It's a little nervous horse, but he's doing good. And I got another one, Bump Up, pretty good. Jump Up, Apollitical Candy B.
That's right, the next class.
Yeah, that's a really good horse. And I got Pentos, San Kines Up, Daytona 1000. So I wish I can qualify couple and try to win back-to-back.
Some King is up. We've seen him be really sharp at times. He did get disqualified out of a win one time. But this horse, at the 400-yard distance, how do you think the horse will?
Well, I think that we're going to help a little, the horse, So one time he disqualified with the runner-up of the 2 million.
Right.
So that horse, he can do something. I expect a really good race from the horse.
And let's look ahead on Sunday. We talked about you winning the Winter Derby last year with Flashback. You have him coming back on Sunday in the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship Trials. And he'll have new silks. He'll be the jockey will be wearing new silks when he rides Flashback. He's been sold to Valeriano Racing Stables. Still here in your barn, Flashback.
Well, that horse is one of the best horses I have right now, and he's a really honest horse. He's a little slow in the break, but he can close. And he turned out to be a 4-year-old this time, and I hope he runs a little better with the older horses. And he doing really, really good, better than ever. He put a lot of weight. The horse got a crack in the feet before he's clear, and the horse is doing really, really good. So I expect a really good race, and I hope I get a good hold.
Best of luck on Sunday and the entire weekend Winter Series here at Los.
All right, Orlando. Jaime Gomez has a 1-2 punch here. I went 8-6-2, so I do like Pentos. I do like Doc Fastlane, but I thought Tempting Dream Girl ran an okay fourth last time out after not breaking all that well, and she did show much better gate speed in the prior 2 starts at 400 yards, and I think she's drawn well, so I expect better gate speed from the 6.
Okay, and another horse, Jose, that is coming off of a gate work. It seems up. We haven't seen this horse since October, but the workout from this one is on our website, losalamitos.com. Seems up when was part of a 3-horse drill, broke from the outside. The winner of that drill ended up being Roving, but seems up. Finished nicely, good performance. Plus, look at who gets on this horse. Jesus Rios Ayala, trainer Scott Willoughby. Seems up. A big price, but maybe with a nice performance, nice comeback race, maybe it's challenging for a top 10 spot. Top 10 runners, of course, qualify to the Winter Derby final. That'll take place in 3 weeks, and the purse for that race is $212,000. So a nice Grade 1 purse here for the Winter Derby.
Out of that very productive mare up for it, and we'll see that bloodline in the championship night on Sunday as well. So seems up reunited with Jesus Rios Ayala. Let's go to the next trial, which is trial number 6. Let me see if it's this trial. Let me guess. No, it's not this trial.
Wrong.
It's this trial?
This trial. This is one of these horses here paid the $10,000 to make the horse eligible to these trials. Can you guess the horse? Since now you know the trial.
It's the 7, Apollitical Candy.
There you go. That's right.
That impressive.
Candy.
That once you saw that impressive win, the connection, you're like, you know what? We gotta try it. We gotta give this horse a shot. And this is my Corona selection on the show.
Just a superb effort last out, and even the race before that in the evening snow handicap, you saw a nice step forward for this horse, Apollitical Candy V. And if they really see this horse maturing, they really see this horse blossoming, then why not pay that $10,000? Have a chance to run in a Grade 1 race. 34 horses here. If you go to read those or somewhere else, you're going to face a ton of horses to get into a Grade 1 final. Here you have a really nice chance to qualify, advance to a Grade 1 final. And again, if this horse is just starting to peak, might have yourself a Grade 1 winner. Remember, Jaime Gomez won this race last year with Flashback. So Jaime Gomez himself going for back-to-back wins in this race.
Doesn't this trial feel like the one that could really stand out and produce multiple qualifiers out of this trial, Orlando?
Yeah, this race is loaded. I mean, you have Empty Promise, who won the evening snow handicap, really surging filly here. And she also won a trial to the Los Alamitos 2 million futurity. We can't forget about that. She won that race by daylight. Yes. Just Being a Friend, a big long shot in the 2 million final, ends up running second in that race for owner Howard Nichols, trainer Elena Andrade. Eye on This Guy, I've always loved this horse. Yep. We had a nice workout at 350 yards in a really good time, 17:60. Eye on This Guy has had some pretty solid performance, especially early in his 2-year-old campaign. Let's see how the horse comes back for his 3-year-old debut. Fortunate Corona. The breeding on this horse is just tremendous. Corona Cartel, Matabari, ran in the Golden State Million futurity. Second time that Jesus Rios Ayala will ride this horse. So I think this horse will be a key contender in this race. Like you mentioned, the list of really nice horses just continues here. Lovely Eating is a stakes winner. We've talked a little bit about Apollitical Candy V. This horse looks like the one that could take the biggest step forward in Grade 1 competition here tonight. And, of course, La Beverly Hills coming off of a maiden win, 3/4 of a length. So from top to bottom, really strong field.
Yeah, we talked about Apolitical Kennedy also being the selection for Mike Corona. But Lovely Evening is a stakes winner at 350 yards, and she's from that family of Moonlight Corona. So even a price horse at 50-1 makes a little bit of sense. But why don't we show the workout for Eye in the Sky, because he's been off Orlando since late November. All right, Professor G, here is the workout for Eye on the Sky. What did you think of this workout?
Well, first of all, he's going to break decent, not super great. But then just around right here, he's just going to start really ramping up the speed. You can see that the jockey, it's kind of asking him for a little bit. Early on, he wasn't asking him for much. He's just kind of comfortably letting the hole just roll. And the horse just continues really, really nice and easy. The time, 17:60. And that was a pretty effortless 17:60. And you can see how the horse just keeps going away, powering away. And if they would have let him loose, he would have just been flying. But nice and easy work. I thought the start was okay. But you can see the horse just starts kind of picking up speed as he's going. I mean, and the fact that he went 17:60, that just shows how easy he did it. Because if you see from there, the jockey's not really asking him for much. He's just kind of shoving him just a little bit, and the horse just wants to go.
I was impressed. I thought he did it very easily on his own, like you mentioned, and his head was kind of high. He never really settled like level down, so you can tell he there was more in the tank. So I was impressed, because up to this point, he's, aside from his first race, he's never been an absolutely perfect horse out of the gate. Yeah. I thought that was a good enough break considering his credentials.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's not one that's just gonna explode out of there. But he does. You can see that he's got a lot of gas in that tank, and if he can just get away decent, like how he did right there, nice and clean, no problems, and they just let him loose that 400-yard distance, that's going to be right there up his alley.
All right. Did you have a chance to catch up with anyone else in this field?
Absolutely. You got a chance to talk to trainer Elena Andrade, who's got the outstanding star, Just Being a Friend. And, he kind of was a sneaky 27-1 in there. In the trials, even longer shot, 38-1. But if you see that, this horse's last 4 starts, he's really started to show some big-time development. The one time that he won his maiden race, then second out, he was involved in a race that featured an inquiry. He got moved up from second to first, and then those nice 2 races in the 2 million. So you look back at the last 4 outs, really solid effort. Here's Elena Andrade talking about Just Being a Friend and her good friend Howard Nichols.
We have trials of the Winter Derby coming up, and there's one of the top runners in the Los Alamitos 2 million futurity, Just Being a Friend. Big second place finish in a heck of a race. And now winter time, and obviously excited to see him back. Tell me about this horse coming back for his 3-year-old debut.
He bounced back really good after that big second place finish. I think he's just barely starting to really peak and mature. The distance obviously has been right up his alley, and we're excited for his derby season.
Owner Howard Nichols, your family had a close relationship with Mr. Nichols. Your son Oscar Andrade Jr., his first stakes win ever came with a horse owned by Mr. Nichols, and giving you an opportunity with this horse, and you've delivered some big races with him.
Yeah, no, they've been super supportive of both our son and with us, just giving us the opportunity to train for them. My sister also trains for them, and I've had a few horses qualified, so we've had good luck together.
Best of luck with this weekend, and looking forward to seeing Just Being a Friend doing his thing.
Thank you.
So there it is, Orlando. Since the maiden diploma, he's shown steps of progression, of getting better. And last time out, finishing second in the 2 million, that's a nice chuck and change there for being a runner-up. So he's been freshened up. He returns with the services of Rodrigo Aceves.
Let's move on to race number 7. This is the third trial to the Los Alamitos Winter Derby. And again, a really nice draw for these horses. There's not a grade 1 star in here, but we do have Corona Yo, a horse that ran second in the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity, as well as Just He's on Fire, a horse that ran second in the Holiday Handicap to multiple stakes winner up the ladder. Daytona 1000 is another interesting horse coming off of a second place finish against allowance competition. Again, those were fillies in that race. Now facing open horses in this Derby. Amadeus MV from the Barno Jose Flores. Big allowance win last hour, won by a length and a quarter. And Mount Valley Eagle, I think this horse should improve. He's had a nice quality career in the Intermountain area. First out here at Los Alamitos. Never really got going early on, but I think a little bit more time here at Los Al. He's had a work here at Los Al as well. I think Mount Valley Eagle might run a much better race. And of course, Women's Secrets, horse that we've talked about on this show before, a horse that won the Los Alamitos Claiming Futurity, then qualified to the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity. Good, solid field of runners. So I'm going to go, though, with the 5, Just He's on Fire. And I'm going to take that 5-1 shot, and I'm going to hope that Just He's on Fire lives up to what we've been hoping for, because he's had a lot of nice races. I'm going to hope that he puts it all together, gets the job done in race 7, and pays me at a nice price, 5-1.
This is where we go our separate ways, Orlando, because I don't have him in my top 3 at all. This is, if I was gonna guess, this was gonna be the race that somebody paid to nominate, because I thought it was gonna be Amadeus MB. That was gonna be my guess. But Jesse's on Fire. Overall, his overall form is pretty solid, and when you factor in that he won at 400 yards, his form looks good. But I just love the way that Amadeus looked last time out, first time for the barn of Jose Flores. If you see his maiden win way back in July, I believe that's when he was gelded. You see those big odds change from 36-1 to 2-1, and he had a bullet workout in between those 2 races. So since that race, I'm almost positive he was a first-time gelding way back when. He's shown kind of signs of being right there in the mix of things and closing ground. But last time out, he finally broke. So that's what's interesting to me, that Amadeus finally learned how to break out of the gate well. I was impressed with that win. So I'm going to go 2-9-3 in this spot. Corona Joe should be tough. Outside post, good post. But I think I'm all in on Amadeus MB. I was really impressed with that win.
And this horse is sire, Power Jam, thoroughbred. So the distance should be something that if he continues to run at these longer distances, Amadeus MV, one of these nights is going to just pop a big race, especially with those nice bloodlines, Power Jam. And the mare produced the Champion of Champions 2 million winner, Good Reason, essay.
Who were you able to catch up with for these trials?
This one we went with Paul Jones. We went and stopped by the Paul Jones stable, and he talked about Just He's on Fire. Remember, this horse is out of the same mare that produced Just Macho Corona. Here's Paul Jones.
This has been a really nice horse. He's really training well right now, and he's doing good. He's in the money almost every time he runs. He's a half brother to Just Macho Corona and Just Lindy's Reason. He's out of a really good mare, a really good family. We're really he's my only horse in the trial, so we're banking everything on him. So he's a really nice horse, and he's definitely got a good chance.
Are there some similarities between this horse and Just Macho Corona?
Yeah, actually, there is a little bit of similarities. He's not quite as big as Just Macho Corona was, but they're both just really nice, kind horses, and they both got talent. They're just it's a really great mare that they're out of, and I'm just really happy to have them. And we've got a half sister coming up this year out of the same mare that's a full sister to Just Macho Corona. So just a great family of horses. They're just really good horses.
Thanks so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, the barn has had a good success with his bloodline, Orlando. They got Jess He's on Fire, who narrowly missed by a head to up the ladder despite breaking a bit slow and getting fractions last time out. So that was a very good race.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at the final trial, the fourth division to the Los Alamitos Winter Derby. And again, a real interesting draw because we had 3 horses in these trials that ran in the Los Alamitos 2 million last year. One of them we've talked about already, Just Being a Friend, ran second. But in this race, we have 2 horses coming out of the Los Al 2 million. That's the number 6 horse, Dasha Good Reason, and the number 7, Watch Out. Dasha Good Reason ran 4th in the 2 million. Watch Out was right behind him, running 5th. And now they get to face off again in this trial, Jose.
And you remember how that night the wind played a factor on trials night for the 2 million. And I think if I remember correctly, Watch Out might have ran in the trial with the strongest headwind that night, right?
Yeah, he was the qualifier that came out of the strongest headwind.
Mm-hmm. And also he looked much more professional in that trial win that he had ever done before. So a couple of things kind of were interesting about that trial. Now he wasn't able to get the good start in the finals, but he showed that progression by winning that trial.
And what I like is now we've seen him run twice at 400 yards. Once, tremendous effort, right, to qualify to the 2 million. Second time, 1990 clocking against a really good field. That 2 million field was really good. You had Whiskey Glasses in there, the winner of the Golden State Million. Of course, Bomb Cyclone. What a superstar he is. And for Watch Out to finish in the upper half of that race, again, going at 400 yards. So now we know that this horse is legit 400 yards. I'm going to go with the 7, Watch Out, at 5-2.
Dasha Good Reason was drawn side by side right there. Dasha Good Reason actually was a little bit difficult to control, to ride in that race, and he still was able to finish 4th. And remember that they went a final 8th in 9.37. That was the final 8th of the 2 million. So to only get beaten about 2 1/4 lengths, Dasha Good Reason, and 2 3/4 lengths by Watch Out, those were pretty good efforts, respectively, for each of those runners. But interesting, they're not really the best gate horses as far as breaking out fast, Orlando, and they're drawn side by side, which I think makes the break even much more interesting between these two.
Yeah, and actually, right next to number 7, Watch Out, is number 8, Stuck in Probate, a horse that's also had a few outs where he's been bumped. Even this, we see the comment where he's rough start, antsy, step slow, bump start. But I still think that Watch Out will get a nice clean start. That's what I'm hoping for. Stuck in Probate, though, we've seen that horse finish. He definitely has a good, strong kick. Sired by Favorite Cartel.
He definitely has a good strong leg kick. Well, on the outside is Cactus Jack, Orlando, drawing the outside. This is the first time he actually gets the outside post. He began the career showing a good amount of talent.
Big time talent, winning back-to-back starts. Ran 4th in the Toltec at 2-1 odds. Ran 3rd in the Autumn Handicap. Well backed in that race as well. And even the trials to the 2 million Futurity ran a solid 4th, kind of pairing up to his odds at 7-1. Cactus Jack, and like you mentioned, gets an outside draw and an interesting jockey trainer combo in this one. Oscar Peinado will get on this horse for trainer Scott Willoughby.
Yeah, because Oscar Peinado rode some Kenyas up, the Jaime Gomez trainee.
Yeah,
pretty much in all starts. He jumps off of that one. But let's talk about the horse down the middle part of the gate, Namgis Azum Ombai, which is now owned by J. Francisco Diaz and Adolfo Diaz. Sensational performance. I know the margin says 2.5, 2 1/4, but he was helped because the other 4 runners kind of bumped each other, eliminated each other. So the margin probably would have been shorter, but no doubt that was an impressive win.
Super impressive win, over 2 lengths. So instead of me spewing what I think of this horse, how about we go to trainer Lindolfo Diaz? Got a chance to catch up with him about this private purchase that they had late last season. And I'm just a zoom on by. Here's Lindolfo.
And here with trainer Lindolfo Diaz, we have trials of the Winter Derby this weekend. You have a pretty interesting runner in the trials. And I'm just a zoom on by private purchase. A few months ago, won a race for your barn already. Tell me about this horse coming in.
Yeah, like you said, Orlando, we purchased him privately about 2 months ago, something like that. And the first start he ran for us, he looked really, really impressive. He ran lights out, but that was against lighter company. Of course, he looked very impressive, but now he's going to step up against the big boys. So I mean, I'm hoping he runs really well. He's doing really well. So I mean, I expect him a good race from him. Even if he doesn't win, I just hope he just qualifies. I mean, obviously, only 10 horses have a shot in the final, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And from a physical standpoint, and this race being 400 yards, now that he's a 3-year-old, how do you see?
I don't think it should affect him. I think it'll be right up his alley. That race, if he can, it looked like he was getting better the further they went, and he's a big horse. He's ran 400 in Ruidoso already, so it's not going to be a problem. He should handle it very, very well, I think.
Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Well, Orlando, that's how you want to start a new purchase, right? Winning by 2 1/4 lengths. No doubt that he was looking sharp there, striding away with authority.
And Lindolfo said, this horse has run at this distance, did it at Ruidoso. And he also mentioned this horse is really well put together. He's a big, big horse. He's built for this distance. So, and Lindolfo has done really well when he's got a stakes caliber horse. And, of course, his best friend, the best man at his wedding, Jesus Rios Ayala, will ride this horse. I wouldn't be surprised if this horse just pops a huge effort.
So that's going to be the final trial of the night. And by this time, we'll know what is the bubble time, what horses are going to shake up the top 10, which are going to be the 10 that are going to be come back to the final. It's always drama at the final trial of the night, Orlando. Always drama. Can we not get a shake for once? Because last year did we have 2 or 3 shakes?
Several.
I think we had 2 or 3,
several.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah. Well, that just tells you that the level of competition, you even go to a thousandth of a second,
yes,
and they're still right there hitting the wire at the same time, and you get a bunch of these horses around the bubble time. So that's why it's so much fun, so exciting, and that's why everybody dreams about making one of these finals, because as long as you get a good break, you have a good horse ready to go, you can make it.
Yep. Speaking about dreams, speaking of finals, hot off the presses, Orlando, the entries are out for Sunday for the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship trials. 3 trials, top 10 advance to the final. And not only do you earn the prestigious Grade 1 resume on your resume if you win the final, but that's the first ticket to the Grade 1 Champion of Champions.
Yeah, one of the first presumptive birth to the Champion of Champions. And we're going to have 3 trials here on Sunday night. Jose, I believe last week, I think it was Sunday night, that I tweeted out that Apollitical Pence was going to be part of these trials, and there he is. He did enter the trials. He'll be in race, if I can find him here, race number 1, or trial number 1, I should say. Yeah, there he is. And how about the number 1 horse in this one? Up and Atom, Jose, a horse that qualified to the 2 million futurity back in 2019. Only ran once in 2020, but he's been posting several good workouts at a gate work on November 30th, and has continued to work steadily towards this comeback race. So looking forward to seeing the return of Up and Atom, favorite cartel out of Up For It, horse that you mentioned before.
This is one of the horses that I was so high on early on, because he always shown the ability to show that big, long, late stride, but he was kind of not doing himself favors at the gate at times. So to see him back in the entry box, this is cool. But we're just getting older by the day, Orlando. This feels like he was just running like last season. And look, he made his first start in 2019. What is going on, Orlando?
Yeah, and I think that was the same group as Transcend. Was that the same stable mate that they both made the 2 million? Yeah. And you also got in this race famous Cartel Jess from the Johnny Trotter band of horses, Cattail Cove, who pretty much ran in all the Grade 1 races last year. Doc Lamb, sporting new connections now, privately purchased by Alfonso Sandoval, trainer Rodolfo Viramontes, and there he is, Apollitical Pence, 2-time Champion of Champions winner. Valkyria rounds out the field. But before we move on and take a look at the other 2 trials, we stopped by and talked to Monte Rosa about Apollitical Pence.
The win in the Champion of Champions, that was a really special win. Winning back-to-back Champion of Champions for the horse was just amazing. He's a he's an amazing animal, amazing athlete. He's a blessing to train. He came out of the Champion of Champions really well, and we gave him just a little bit of a break after that race and started back, and he's been training super, and it's a great field of horses. It always draws the best older horses on the grounds, and it looks like it's going to be real tough again, and so we're hoping to have some luck in there.
And have you mapped out a season-long schedule for Apollitical Pence?
Yeah, we'll probably run him in this and then give him a little bit of a break. And I'm not really sure where we'll go. We've got a couple of different options. He's not in the Vessel's Maturity. We've thought about possibly taking him back to Remington Park for the Debbie Schaff Championship and then coming back here to Los Alamitos. But obviously our ultimate goal is to hopefully get him back into the Champion of Champions.
Okay, we'll see Apollitical Pence for his 2022 debut here on Sunday night. Thanks.
Thank you.
Apollitical Pence, a back-to-back Champion of Champions winner. Orlando, he's been off for, almost 2 months now. Been off since December 11th. So he seems to be coming into here fresh, ready to go, and looking to begin his 2022 season.
Absolutely, looking forward to the return of Apollitical Pence. Maybe he makes a trip out to Oklahoma in the middle of the year. He's done that before, but we'll definitely hear a lot about this horse this year as he prepares for another great campaign of stakes races.
Race number 8, the second division. They're all at 400 yards. We kick it off with Racy, who's been duking it out in the allowance ranks. Delighted, who looked sharp in that allowance win 2 starts ago under Erasmo Gasca. Otherworld, who since being acquired, ran a nice little 2-race winning streak and a tough defeat in the Invitational Championship. But Otherworld has no problem with this distance.
No problem with this distance at all, and especially after running second in the Robert Boniface Los Alamitos Championship, which is at a quarter of a mile, and he did it as a 3-year-old. You just wonder, maybe as a 3-year-old, if maybe that just took off a little of steam out of Otherworld, because his next 2 races were, a little bit less than what we expected. But now he's been rested for over a month. Maybe, maybe we see Otherworld now, a little bit bigger, well rested for Valentin Zamudio. Let's see how he comes back for his first race as a 4-year-old.
Nasir Corona, who posted a nice upset there as the long shot of the night at almost 9-1. Thank you very much. Spring favorite, Paul Jones trainee, Victor Zalazar. Actually, Victor jumping aboard for the first time. Spring favorite, Gara Corona Jess was the beating favorite last time out. But this one, Mare, who was the beating favorite last time out. But she, she has been facing some sharp horses in those sprints. And also, she duked it out with Otherworld way back in the Sergeant Pepper feature.
Yeah, and rounding out the field, O'Donovan Rosa for Jay Garvin Kelly, and Mr. Lloyd Yoder. This horse ran in the Southern California Derby. Before that, had a nice win in the Winter Derby trials. Remember that 31-1 odds,
Yes.
big price in that one. Another one of those long shot winners from Diego Herrera, at the hands of the riding of Diego Herrera. He gets to keep the mount here, not riding a lot for trainer Juan Aleman or Donovan Rosa.
Yeah, they teamed up to take the Charger bar this season, that jockey and trainer combination. And rounding out the final trial, the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship, Circle City kicks it out from the rail. For whatever reason, he's run well from the rail before, so this shouldn't be a bad post for him.
Absolutely not. I mean, he got to start from the rail in the Champion of Champions, and he made a nice late run in that race from the rail. But he also won the Spencer Childers from that post. Ran second in his trial to the Vessel's Maturity from that post. So he's familiar with post number 1. And Jose, this is a heck of a trial. We got Circle City here. We got Flashback, another horse with new connections. As reported by Steve Anderson of the Daily Racing Form, privately purchased by Valeriano Racing Stable. Flashback does remain in the barn of trainer Jaime Gomez. Jaime talked a little bit about him and when we interviewed him earlier on the show. And also in this field, you can run winner of the Go Man Go handicap as well. So we got 3 horses with grade 1 wins from last year in this really strong field. And also another stakes winner here, just a Dasha Hero. He was a long shot winner in the Town Policy handicap. So a really strong group of runners to complete the trials, to complete the card, the weekend action here at Los Alamitos. Grade 1 actions here again. The Winter Derby here on Saturday in these really nice horses, older horses in the championship.
Quality horses both nights. Trials for the Derby and trials for the championship. So looking forward to that. Thank you for all the interviews, Orlando. Before I let you go, what do you think of those crazy football games? I bet you Burgarts, there was a lot of cheers coming from the grandstand in Los Al as well.
Definitely. And I mean, most people are saying that might have been the best round of playoff games in probably NFL history. I mean, all 4 of those games were just crazy games. That Bills-Chiefs game that that was happening while we're running our races. I mean, man, I had one eye on the races here, but I had to keep half an eye there on the football game. And it was just every time I looked, there was a touchdown.
Yes.
Like Gabriel Davis and Patrick Mahomes making a hell of a throw. I mean, just an amazing day of football.
Sometimes a football game is exciting when a team has a chance to kind of put up a field goal in the last 2 minutes of the game. Well, in that game, Orlando, they were like 2 minutes into the game. There were like 2 minutes left. There were like 4 touchdowns, 3 lead changes. I mean, it was incredible. Me and Caleb on the quarters, we had one eye on the football game, one eye on the races. I mean, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
So who's your pick from the teams left? Who's your pick?
Well, you got the local team here, the Rams at home. Yeah. Got to go with the Rams.
I think the Rams are gonna. I think the Rams should get by. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick for the Chiefs. Hey, I picked that on our Spanish show. You asked me about the weekend games, and I picked the Bengals to upset the Titans. Yeah. But this time, still the Grim Reaper, Patrick Mahomes. He's still the man.
Do you think that was a real quote in live moment? Do you think he really told them that? Do you think that was legit?
That's a great quote. I don't know who came up with that, but that's awesome.
He said, what did he say? He's like,
he said, when things go grim,
be the Grim Reaper. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was fun. But that game was insane. The whole weekend was insane. There was like games decided by last minute field goals left and right, touchdowns here and there. I mean, it was incredible. But hopefully we get some exciting results and some exciting photo finishes in these trials as well. Quality trials. What is our post time for Saturday, Orlando?
6 p.m. 6 p.m. That's been the norm now for our Saturday cards, and our norm pretty much for the Sundays has been between 5:20 and 5:35 or so. So expect that as well here at Los Al. And just a quick reminder that on Super Bowl weekend, we are going to run that Saturday. So we're scheduled to run on Saturday. We'll be off Super Bowl Sunday. And then the following week after that, we'll have the finals for the Winter Derby and the Winter Championship. And, we're just wrapping up our calendar printing. We'll have our first giveaway of the year on those, on the weekend of the Winter Derby and Winter Championship. We'll have the calendar, so you can kind of change that calendar that you got back there and put a nice new one there in its place.
I need a new one. I need an updated one for 2022. By the way, I heard Professor G dropped a nice radio winner once again. That's right. Well, the field kind of got cut short for by a couple of horses, but BDR Dragster, paid I think the price on the morning line, if I remember correctly, may have been 4-1. 5-1. 5-1, yeah, I think. And I ended up going, I believe, 5-2, but I'll take. Yeah, it was the third choice in a field of 4, Orlando. Third choice in a field of 4. So you got to take it. So nice, well done, and with that BDR Baxter, despite the short field. So Orlando, thanks for everything. We'll see you out there at Los Al this weekend. Thanks so much, Jose. See you soon.
Horse racing fans, the fun and excitement of horse racing is always at Los Alamitos. We're open daily for simulcasting, and our live quarter horse and thoroughbred meet continues every Saturday and Sunday night. And sports fans, make Burgarts at Los Alamitos a big part of your Sundays, as our new sports bar and wagering room now features the NFL Sunday Ticket. Root on your favorite football team plus cheer on your favorite racehorse at Burgarts. Plus, we're continuing to offer our popular $10,000 Pick 6 promo with the NFL Sunday Ticket now at Burgarts. live nighttime horse racing action, and of course, our $10,000 Pick 6 promo. Get your admission tickets at the gate or online at losalamitos.com. We look forward to seeing you at Los Alamitos.